everybody, it's Katie Snyder from Museum of the Grand Prairie in the Champaign County Forest Preserve District. Today I'm going to show you a craft from our Boredom Busters Mischievous Kids Camp in a Bag, and it is the loom knitting project. Everyone who got the bag got a different kind of loom. It might not look exactly like this, but you do have a loom and you do have some yarn. Now, back in the olden days, when they would want to make a scarf or a sweater or anything, they would have to start with a sheep, right? They'd shear the sheep, which means they cut off all that fur, they card that wool, they get it nice and straight, and then they'd use something like this, a spinning wheel, and they'd spin it into a yarn. So we've skipped all those steps. We have the yarn that we got at the Idea store, by the way, if you want to get more. And the first step is to tie a knot on the little peg to the side. And then what you're going to do, this is the important part, is setting it up, is you're going to go around the first peg to the right of the one that you tied it to, and you're going to go counterclockwise, which means the direction that an analog clock, a clock with hands, doesn't go, okay? So you're going to go around, and you're going to go around each one of those pegs, around and around, and I'm just going to talk a little bit while I go all the way around. So back in the day, there's lots of different ways to knit, right? You could knit with knitting needles, you could have a big standing loom, you could have a small loom, some of you may have woven things with a little cardboard loom. This is going to turn out more like straight up knitting. Now, one thing to remember when you're going around each one of these pegs, everybody, is not to do it too tight. I did that my first time and it made the next step super hard. So you want to get it tight so that it doesn't fall off, but not super tight. Okay, I'm almost all the way around. And you'd think I'd be ready, but I've got to go, that's kind of my baseline, my bottom. I got to go one more time around. So I'm going to go one more time around so that you don't have to just be bored watching me. I'm going to do that as quick as I can. Go all the way around. And it's also important because I did this mistake as well. I've done all the mistakes so you don't have to. Is I have skipped a peg. If you skip a peg, go back and fix it because it doesn't really work so great. I'm pushing it down a little bit as I go, but not a whole lot. And I got to be careful to watch that when I get back to the starting point and that I stop. And I know where the starting point is because it's where I made that little knot in the very beginning. Oopsie, I almost skipped one. Gotta pay attention, don't I? I am almost there. Let's see, couple more. Yep, keep going. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, when I get there, I have two pieces of yarn wrapped around. See, 1, 2. And the next part is I take the hook. So everybody got like a hook that looks like this or a crochet hook. Once again, if you want one of those and you don't have one, if you're just watching this and didn't get the camp in a bag, you can go to the Idea store and they have them there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bottom loop and I'm going to pull it over the top loop to the back. Bottom loop, pull it over the top loop to the back. And keep going like that. And that's doing the knitting for me. It's latching it. See how that's looking? If you look on the back, you can see how it's starting to look like it's knitting. I'm gonna do a couple more for you. This is the fun part to me. This is the kind of satisfying part. When I'd get this all the way done, you know what I would do? I would loop it around each peg again, just like I did before. And I would once again go to the bottom and pull it up over the top. And when I go for a while, I'll start to have knitting that's going to come down and through. And this one's going to be in a circular motion because my loom is a circle. If you have a rectangular loom, yours will be shaped like that. So I think that's kind of fun. One of the things in your Boredom Busters, Mischievous Kids Camp in a Bag, that should break your boredom for a little while. We'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.